हरे कृष्णा प्रभु जी।
हरे कृष्ण माता जी रण प्रणाम।
दंडवत प्रणाम।
Fine. So we are live now.
Yes, प्रभु जी। I will call.
Hare Krishna.
I will call
Yeah.
some more devotees. They will join, Prabhu
O-
ji.
Okay. So shall I wait for a while?
Yes, we can just 2 to 3 minutes. We can wait, Prabhu ji. They will join. I will call them also. Please,
Okay. Do that,
two
please.
to three minutes,
Thank.
Prabhu ji. Yes, Prabhu ji.
Sure, sure. Take your time. No problem. हाँ, ऐसे ही तुमने यहाँ ला।
Prabhu ji, one Prabhu ji will join now, Prabhu ji. And
Okay.
three people are not picking the call, Prabhu ji. Now only she have sent that message, no? So many of them are in their engage and their commitments.
Okay. Okay. So what do you want me to do? You want me to go ahead with the class, or
Prabhuji,
you want me to if you want me to rearrange it, I don't mind. Whatever we say.
yes, Prabhuji. Let us wait for 2 more minutes, Prabhuji. Giridhar Prabhuji also will come.
Sure.
You can ask him
Sure.
also because only two
Sure.
watch will, all will be waiting a little bit earlier. It will be good, no, Prabhuji.
Okay. Yeah. Certainly. Yes. We'll wait for a
Um,
while. No problem.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Only we two joined, Prabhuji. Can we ask for next slot at least? Many of them will join, no, Prabhuji.
Sure.
Uh,
So you want me to cancel today's class or postpone it until 21st?
Prabhuji, I'll
We have
message in the
another.
group. I'll message in the group, Prabhuji. Put a note in the group saying that we have joined, two of us have joined. If they see, they may join. Otherwise, we may cancel the class, Prabhuji, as you decide.
I see. So what do you want me to do? You'll have to
No,
make
I'll
up your
I'll
mind.
I'll I'll drop a message in the group, Prabhuji, saying that two of us have joined for the class. I'll request others to join the class,
Yeah.
Prabhuji. We'll wait for 5 to 10 minutes, Prabhuji.
Sure. Sure.
Sure.
No problem. No problem. We'll wait for 10 minutes. No problem.
Sarita Mataji, we are waiting for all. Mataji.
Okay, Mataji. Actually, I logged off and I joined again, thinking some audio issue with my phone.
No, we are waiting for others to join, Mataji.
Okay. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Sadar pranams. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Sadhu Pranam Mataji.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, everyone.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare
Prabhuji,
Krishna Mataji.
yeah, we have not started class. May I ask some questions? So you're taking this NOD, na? Sorry, Srimad Bhagavatam. So,
Yeah.
how deep are they going to ask in Srimad Bhagavatam in initiation?
Mataji, I think it would be nice if we answer this in the class, because then everyone would have the same problem and same question.
Okay, Prabhuji, fine. If you are addressing it, no problem. Fine.
Yeah.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. I called up one devotee, Krishna Kumar Prabhuji. He's in the temple, Prabhuji. ISKCON temple, it seems. So he won't be able to join. So I don't know about
Okay.
others. Not many have seen the messages, Prabhuji.
Okay. How many of you are you in the class?
Probably around 7 to 8 members, Prabhuji, in this group. So who are waiting to get Diksha.
Okay. Because I believe some of you people got the Diksha this week only in Bombay.
Oh,
If that is the case, then I think we have half the presence, and we are live on YouTube. So if you want, I can continue the class,
yes, Prabhuji.
and anybody
Please,
can
Prabhuji.
see the recording.
Yes, Prabhuji. Yes, Prabhuji. Please.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yeah, fine. So let us start. You are three of you, right?
Sarita Mataji got initiation, Prabhuji.
Yeah. So those who got initiation would not come for a class now. Dinesh Prabhuji also got, Dinesh Saxena Prabhuji.
Okay.
So what is your verdict? You want me to take the class or you want me to postpone until next week? Now it's up to you. You three people will have to decide and tell me.
Giridhar Prabhuji, what can we do? We can ask for next slot, Prabhuji, because no one joined. What can we do?
But you say there are only 7 people in your class.
Yes,
How
Prabhuji,
many?
yeah.
Because if 7 people are there, then 3 of you are present. And probably 2 or 3 already got the Diksha.
Yeah.
So in that case, I think we have more than half the presence. So
For
then we
me,
can
it's
continue.
yes, Prabhuji. For me, it's okay, Prabhuji.
Yes, Prabhuji.
What about the 2 others? Can I continue?
Yes, Prabhuji. They can see
Thank
the
you.
YouTube. If we are giving in live, no, they can see the YouTube, Prabhuji. We are
Yeah,
fortunate to get live session directly.
yeah. Right. So I welcome you to the class of first Canto Srimad Bhagavatam overview. We are going to divide it into 2 classes. One is today and another is going to be next Sunday. We will first say our prayers. You know why we say prayers? Prayers are very important because we need the mercy of the Lord to understand the message of the Lord given in Srimad Bhagavatam. And unless we understand the message clearly, we cannot put it into practice. So we need to have the mercy of the Lord and all the senior devotees who are with us. So you also pray along with me, keeping the mute button on. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Gnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhistam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Uttamakabalam Shri Guru Vaishnavasya Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sagarna Guratanuvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Shri Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sagar Lalita Shri Vishakar Vitansya He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी निति नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देश तारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौरवृंद हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरये शृण्वतां सुखतः कृष्णः पुण्यश्रवणकीर्तनः हृदयन्तस्थोयपत्राणि विदुनोति सुरसताम् नष्टप्रायेषु अभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवती उत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवती नैष्टिकी Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya, daily recitation and daily study or daily attendance of Srimad Bhagavatam classes are very important because that removes all inauspicious things from our lives. And when we are worshipping Uttama Sloka, Lord Krishna, he always bestows on us the Naistiki Bhakti, which is the goal of our life. Srimad Bhagavatam, first canto, is an introduction. These canto, you must know the most important issues which are at heart with the first canto. It's probably the biggest volume considering all the 12 cantos. I have gone through the initiation myself, gone through the interviews, and also many of my Guru brothers. So we know what questions are usually asked, and that's why we are going to put an emphasis on general questions that are asked while remaining on the subject of overview of the first canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. Although whatever I say, I'm going to only touch most important areas, but that would be sufficient enough for you to pass your interview. There are 10 subject matters of Srimad Bhagavatam. As you know very well, in Bhagavad Gita, there are 5 subjects which describes the entire Bhagavad Gita. These subjects are Jiva, Ishvara, Prakriti, Kal, and Karma. So these 5 subjects are discussed in Srimad Bhagavad Gita, while as Srila Prabhupada always says, Srimad Bhagavatam is a post-graduation. Bhagavad Gita is undergraduation. So the subjects are doubled in Srimad Bhagavatam. The subjects are Sarga and Visarga. Sarga means the primary creation or creation of the universe, or what we call the material manifestation. Visarga is the sub-creation or secondary creation of all the living entities and the Prakriti within which the living entities live. Sthanam is basically the various planetary systems that exist in this material manifestation. Poshanam is protection. Utayaha is a creative impetus that you need to create things. Manvantara is the Manus which are changing. Manus are the kings of the mankind and they rule over the planet Earth and other planets. Isha Anukataha, that is science of God. Nirodhaha basically means going back to Godhead. Mukti is liberation, the liberation from birth and death, cycle of birth and death. And lastly, Ashraya, that is Sambambonam or Sharanagati to the absolute truth, the Lord Himself. Basically, it is the 10th subject, Sambambonam or Sharanagati or Ashraya, which we want to reach the stage 2, and we surrender unto the Lord Himself. This surrender is a total surrender where you basically give yourself all your activities, all your thinking, and all your consciousness unto the Lord Himself. 9 subjects basically are going around this 10th most important subject. And so if someone asks you what is the most important subject, it is the summum bonum, that is Sharanagati, or surrendering unto the Lord. So the ultimate purpose of the first 9 topics is to help us understand the 10th topic, that is Ashraya Tattva, Sharanagati, or surrendering unto the Lord. The first 9 topics deal with the Supreme Lord Krishna, Krishna's various energies, expansions, majesty, and greatness. The understanding them helps us better appreciate his personal attributes and activities with his dearest devotees as described in the 10th canto. Without studying the first 9 topics, one might perceive the pastime of Krishna in the 10th canto as ordinary. The 10th canto describes the most important and most personal and private pastimes of Lord Krishna. Basically, all these pastimes or Krishna Katha are to exchange the rasas or mellows, sharing with the Lord and between the Lord and the devotees. If you directly jump onto the 10th canto without studying the first 9 cantos and 9 subjects, you will not be able to understand the 10th canto at all, or you will wrongly interpret it in a wrong direction. And that's why Srila Prabhupada insists that we study from first canto onwards, step by step, until you complete all 9 subjects before you reach the 10th canto, which is the most important canto to understand the Lord and the Lord's activities. The various cantos are compared with the body parts of Lord Krishna. The first and the second canto is said to be the lotus feet, left and right feet. That is first and the second canto. Third and fourth canto are Lord's thighs. Fifth canto is a navel or umbilicus of the Lord. Sixth canto is the chest of the Lord. Seventh and eighth canto are Lord's arms. Ninth canto is throat. 10th is lotus face of the Lord. 11th is the forehead of the Lord. And 12th canto is the head of the Lord. Thus, the first 2 cantos of Sarga and Visarga are very important to make the foundation like the lotus feet of the Lord. Glories and significance of Srimad Bhagavatam. It's considered to be a crown jewel of all revealed scriptures. Bhagavatam is a ripened fruit of the Vedic desired tree. Each word is important, and be careful, be attentive now. The literary incarnation of Krishna is Srimad Bhagavatam, and that's why it is called as Granth Bhagavatam. The 10 cantos, 12 cantos of Srimad Bhagavatam, are considered to be a Granth avatar of Lord Krishna himself. And so, before you touch or start reading Srimad Bhagavatam, you understand that you are touching Lord Krishna himself. And thus, we always say Namaskar, pray to Lord before we open the book. The natural commentary of Vedanta. Vedantas are the Vedanta Sutras. The original scripture of the Vedas are written in sutras. Sutras are the sentences, and these sentences have a clear-cut meaning. However, they are written in Sanskrit, and Sanskrit not being a popular language, it will be very difficult for us to understand each sutras. So, Vyasadeva has very kindly converted these sutras into Srimad Bhagavatam at his ripened age and made it possible for us to understand those Vedanta Sutras. Bhagavatam actually is always relished by devotees, and it is for the purification of all conditioned souls. You, me, all of us are conditioned souls because the moment we die, we change the bodies, and according to the karmas, we get another body, and our Atma resides into that body and functions as that living being. That, of course, carries on Janma, Mrityu, Jara, and Vyadhi, and that's why we are known as conditioned soul or Nitya Baddha souls. Someone who doesn't recognize Srimad Bhagavatam is doomed for the spiritual rape. And Srimad Bhagavatam is very dear to the Paramahamsa, which are the topmost devotees of the Lord. Canto 1 describes the purpose of Srimad Bhagavatam. And what is the purpose of Srimad Bhagavatam? To depict, inspire, and awaken pure and unmotivated love of the God. We all are gathered here to learn, understand the bhakti of Vrajavasis. The Vrajavasis have a bhakti which is known as Vraj Bhakti, and this Vraj Bhakti has no motivation at all. The only motivation is to please Krishna. The Vrajavasis would do anything for the pleasure of Lord Krishna or to keep Lord Krishna happy. For them, they do not exist, and thus they do not care for their own pleasure or their own love. Their love and pleasure is lying in making Lord Krishna pleasant. It actually motivates the love of the God through various narrations, and we witness a pure love being exhibited by different devotees who all ultimately attain the absolute perfection of the life. Now, Canto 1 has 19 chapters, remember that. Chapter 1 to 6 is describing Srimad Bhagavatam itself. Chapter 7 to 11 describes various love. Chapter 12 to 15 describes attaining the Absolute, that is Lord Himself. And chapter 16 to 19 describes Parikshit being punished. If you take the first word of Srimad Bhagavatam, love, attaining the absolute, and Parikshit, it becomes slap. So remember, the first canto of Srimad Bhagavatam consists of 19 chapters, which can be divided as slab. First 6 chapters, then next 5 chapters, then the 12th to 15th chapter, and lastly 16 to 19th chapter. First 6 chapters, it is Srimad Bhagavatam itself. The first chapter is talking about glorious Bhagavatam, the essential truth of Bhagavatam in form of 6 questions by sages of Naimisharanya is described in first 3 chapters. Srimad Bhagavatam begins with sages of Naimisharanya. There are some 1,000 sages who have got together and they are doing sacrifices for last 1,000 years. The age in Satyug was several thousand years for a human being, whereas the average age of expectation in present Kali is only 100 years. So the first 6 questions are asked by these sages who have got together to make sacrifices. The goal of Bhagavatam is Sri Krishna, and that is described in 3rd chapter. The history of Bhagavatam in the form of 4 questions is described in 3rd and 4th chapter. And compilation of Bhagavatam is done in 4th, 5th, and 6th chapter. So in short, first 6 chapters describe Srimad Bhagavatam itself. The next is the love. Love of Arjuna is in 7th chapter. Love of Uttara, who is Arjuna's wife, and Kunti, who is Arjuna's mother, is in chapter 8. Love of Bhishmadeva, who is a grandfather of Arjuna, all Pandavas and Kauravas, is in chapter 9. And love of Hastinapur residents in separation, because they are separated from Lord Krishna, is in chapter 10. And love of Dwarka residents in union is in chapter 11. Attaining the absolute is Lord Krishna. We call him absolute truth. Chapter 12 depicts the Parikshit Maharaj's birth and eventual departure. Chapter 13 describes Dhritarashtra's departure, and Krishna himself departs from Prithvi in chapter 14 and 15. So you can only attain absolute when you depart from the material existence. And that's why chapter 12 to 15 describes attaining absolute. Chapter 16 to 19, the last 4 chapters, describes Parikshit's rule. 16th chapter, Parikshit and Kali in 16th and 17th chapter, Parikshit cursed in 18th chapter, Parikshit retires and Sukdev enters in the last chapter of first canto. So if we look at Srimad Bhagavatam in another perspective, then the first three chapters, sages are asking 6 questions, sages of Naimisharanya, who is led by Saunaka Rishi. These questions are asked to Sukadeva Goswami. Remember, in Srimad Bhagavatam, everything is described as conversation between two people. Sukadeva Goswami is conversing with Parikshit Maharaj, and thus Parikshit Maharaj's spiritual master is Sukadeva Goswami. When Sukadeva Goswami is describing Srimad Bhagavatam to Parikshit Maharaj, Suta Goswami was present for all 7 days and 7 nights. Because Parikshit Maharaj was given a curse to die at the end of 7 days and 7 nights, and so he renounces his kingdom. Parikshit Maharaj renounces his kingdom and sits on the bank of Yamuna river, where Sukadeva Goswami describes Srimad Bhagavatam for 7 days and 7 nights without eating any food or taking any water, and without getting up once also. This dedication describes the love of Parikshit Maharaj towards Lord Krishna. Suta Goswami was present, and Sukadeva Goswami is also the spiritual master of Suta Goswami. Suta Goswami describes the Srimad Bhagavatam to the Saunakadi Rishi in Naimisharanya. And then various conversations are going on between the Vidura and the Vyasadeva and the Narad Muni, then the Narad Muni and the Brahma, and then the Vidura and the Maitreya Rishi. So there is a pair where conversation is going on, a disciple asking questions, and the spiritual master answering those questions. The history of Srimad Bhagavatam is from 4th to 7th chapter till verse 11. And history of Maharaj Parikshit, that his birth, his activities, his deliverance, is from 12th verse onwards in 7th chapter till the last chapter. This is another way of dividing first canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. These are very commonly asked, and that's why I have taken so much time. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. First 3 verses of Srimad Bhagavatam in the first chapter of first canto are very important. And so we'll take some time to understand these 3 verses. Janmadhyasya yato advayada iti rata chartheshva abhira swarat tene brahmaradaya adikavaye muyanti yat surayah tejo vari mrudam yatha vinimayo yatra trisargo brusha Dhamna svena sada nirasta kuhakam satyam param dhimahi. This verse is very important because it tells the characteristics and glories of Lord Krishna in one verse. What are the characteristics? Lord Krishna is the primeval cause of all causes. He is responsible for the creation, subsistence, and destruction of the manifested universe. He is directly and indirectly conscious of all manifestations, all the living and the dead things and the Prakriti existing in the material manifestation or Bhautik Jagat as we call it, is known to him because he is the one who has created it. He is completely independent. We all are dependent on someone. There is always some boss of everyone. There is no one who has no boss in this world. But Lord has no one above him. He is second to none. He is the final authority, as they call it. Buck stops here. That means he is the final in charge of this material and spiritual manifestation. Lord Krishna imparted Vedic knowledge unto heart of Brahma as a first person in the living entities. Because of him, the great sages and demigods are placed into illusion. Whatever you see around yourself is the material manifestation, and they are all temporary. They all keep changing, and that is why they are called illusion. It's not truth. If it is true, it does not change. The material universe temporarily manifested by the reaction of the three modes of nature appears factual. Though the whole material universe keeps changing, they are governed by three modes of nature, but though it is illusion, it looks like it is factual. And that's why we all never care. We all know that we will die one day. We all know that that day could be tomorrow, but still we do not do any preparation for that inevitable death. We keep living in this on this earth as if we are going to live here for 10,000 years. Lord Krishna is eternally existent in the transcendental abode of Goloka Vrindavana. So these seven characteristics are the characteristics of the Lord described in the first verse, and and that verse is known as Abhideya. The second verse is Dharma projahita kaitavotra paramo nirmatsaranam satam Vidyamavastava vastu sivadam tapatrayobulanam Srimad Bhagavata Mahamuni Krite Kim Vaparai Ishvara Sadyo Radya Avarudya Tetra Kritibihi Sushrushubi Tatskshanat. This is the description of Srimad Bhagavatam. The Bhagavatam completely rejects materially motivated religion. All the things that people tell us as religion is not a Bhagavad Dharma. It is kind of a Dharma, Arth, Karma, Kama, and Moksha. It regulates four things. Dharma, it says it is Dharma. Artha means earning money. Kama means our sense gratification and all the desires to be fulfilled. And moksha, going to Swargalok. Swargalok is nothing but upper planetary system of this material world. And when your credits of pious actions are over, you are again thrown back to the through the planet Earth to again go through the birth, the death, jara, and vyadhi. So these four principles are actually called dharma, which is not truth. And Srimad Bhagavatam doesn't recognize this as a religion. A religion which is motivated materially. If you look at the dharma, artha, kama, and moksha, there is always a desire everywhere. And those desires are physical desires or desires of the material world. In Bhagavatam, the highest truth is propounded. Absolute truth is the highest truth. Lord Krishna is the highest truth, and that's how he is propounded. Bhagavatam is understandable by pure devotees who are pure at heart. We all have a contaminated heart, and that's why we are above the jiva in material world. Heart is full of anarthas and offenses. And once you start your bhakti and walk on the bhakti marg, the various pious activities that we do for the Lord and the devotional services lovingly we offer without any purpose and uninterrupted, the heart gets cleaned up, and that clean heart is a soft heart. Srila Prabhupada says that all of us, but the jivas, have a heart which is known as still heart. It's a very hard heart, and that's why we do not see the Lord Krishna, though he is standing in front of us. The Bhagavatam is understandable by pure devotees, that I told you. The book distinguishes the highest reality from illusion and highest welfare of all. As soon as one attentively and submissively hears the message of Bhagavatam by the culture of knowledge, the Supreme Lord is established within his heart. As you go along, you'll be able to see everything in perspective. And this is the third and the last verse. Nigama kalpa taror galitam phalam sukhamukhad amruta dravya yutam pibat bhagavatam rasamalayam muhuraho rasika bhuvibavukaha. The mature fruit of the desired tree of Vedic literature is Srimad Bhagavatam. It's a natural commentary on Vedanta Sutra. The mellows of relationship between living entity and the Lord in 12 different rasas are seen in Srimad Bhagavatam. And lastly, it is not different from Lord Krishna. As we said, Srimad Bhagavatam is a Granth avatar of Lord Krishna himself. The first canto then keeps on describing about various questions that have been asked by the sages of sages of the Naimisharanya, and we'll go straight to those questions. There are 6 questions that they are asking. First question is, what is the ultimate good for people in general? Remember, when you are walking on a bhakti marg or devotional service, you are compassionate and you are worried about others more than yourself. You will be definitely feeling that you are not the body, and that's why you won't care for your own happiness, your own success, your own comforts. You will rather worry for the compassionate thinking about all others that exist around you. Because in the heart of every living entity, Lord Krishna resides. And that's why when you become a pure devotee, you will realize that each and every living entity has a Krishna inside, and you are only seeing a Krishna inside him. You are not seeing him as a body. You are not seeing him as a ugly or beautiful. You are not seeing him as a black or white or yellow. But you are seeing a Krishna inside him because his body is temporary. At the time of the death, he is going to leave his body, but that soul is going to remain. And that soul is what is with Super Soul, Lord Krishna. And that's why you respect the soul and the super soul and bow down to them. And that's why you bow down to all the living beings. So the question is very simple. What is ultimate good for all people? Second question is, what is the essence of all this scripture? There are so many scriptures that are written, and our lifetime would probably not be sufficient for us to go through all of them. So you would like to know the ultimate essence of all the scriptures. Third question is, for what purpose did Lord Krishna appear? Lord Krishna appeared and lived a life of 125 years. So the question would certainly arise, why did he come on the earth? And why did he stay for 125 years? And so that's put in here as a question. Which adventures does Lord perform in his incarnations? He has various avatars or incarnations. So what adventures does he do? What are the activities of his incarnations? That is, the first one is Purushavatara and second is Lilavatara. And last question is, to whom have religious principle gone for shelter after the departure of Lord Krishna? So these are the six questions which are asked in the first chapter of the first canto of Srimad Bhagavatam in verses number 9, 11, 12, 17, 18, and 23. They are given here. 1.1.9, it means first canto, first chapter, 9th verse. And similarly, if you look at the last one, first canto, first chapter, 23rd verse. This is how we describe the reference of Srimad Bhagavatam. There are various qualifications described of those who speak the Srimad Bhagavatam. And the most important qualification of the devotee is Shravanam. He must be able to understand the hearing. And the most important hearing is always from a right source. And then, of course, the qualifications of the speaker. It is said that Srimad Bhagavatam heard by professionals who take money as a charge to maintain their family and then speak about Srimad Bhagavatam. They are professional reciters. They do not speak by their heart. And something which is not spoken by their heart never touches your heart. So you will see the difference that whenever you are attending the lecture of Srimad Bhagavatam or Bhagavad Gita by one of the senior devotees or devotees who have achieved spiritual stages, they will be talking in such a way that it will touch your heart. You will understand the meaning much better, and it will give you a feeling of auspiciousness inside you. So they say that these speakers must not have any material motive. They should not be talking for money. Free from all vices. They should be Goswamis. They should have a spotless character, well versed in the scripture, submissive and gentle disciples, and stick to the path all the time. That's about the first chapter. The second chapter is about divinity and divine services. And it describes few of the questions being answered. And we'll go straight to the answer of the questions because there are a lot of things which are not really relevant to your things. The first answer to the first question and the second question are given in verse 33 and 34. Let us look at what the answers are. Here are the questions and their answers. They are given in first three chapters. What is the ultimate good of the people in general? Asked in the 9th verse of the first chapter, is answered in the 6th verse of second chapter. Bhakti and process of bhakti. So the ultimate good for all is bhakti and process of bhakti. Second question is, what is the essence of all scriptures? Answered in second chapter, 7th verse, and that is bhakti and process of bhakti. So something which is good for all and something which is the essence of the scripture are same, bhakti and process of bhakti. The third question now that is asked is the purpose why Lord Krishna appeared. And that is answered in 34th verse and also in the 10th canto. To reclaim the conditioned souls in pure goodness. There are living entities that are living in this world, and some of them are going through the process of bhakti and bhakti marga and have reached mode of goodness and ultimately reached the mode of pure goodness. So those living entities who have reached a stage of a pure devotee in the mode of pure goodness, Lord comes onto the earth and recognizes them and picks them up and liberates them and picks them up to take them to his abode of Goloka Vrindavan, where they continually serve the Lord in a loving devotional service. The fourth question was, what adventures does Lord perform in his incarnation? It's talking about Purushavatar. And Purushavatar, as you will understand, Purushavatar is an avatar where you will see the Karanodakshaya Vishnu, Garbhodakshaya Vishnu, and Kshirodakshaya Vishnu performing different actions. Karanodakshaya Vishnu creates the universes or material manifestation. Garbhodakshaya Vishnu creates the Paramatma or super soul, and Kshirodakshaya Vishnu creates lot of incarnations or expansions of the Lord that is seen in this world. What are the activities of his incarnation? Leelavatara, all the leelas that Lord do in form of various pastimes by his self are called Leela Avataras, and their description is actually the activities of the Lord. Lastly, to whom have religion's principles gone to shelter after the departure of Lord Krishna from the earth? It was asked in the first chapter of 23rd verse and answered in the third chapter, 43rd verse. It resides in Srimad Bhagavatam. So now you understand why Srimad Bhagavatam is given so much of importance in our studies and walking in the path of bhakti. Lord and all his religion and the principles of religion take shelter in Granth Bhagavatam, and that's why it is called the Granth incarnation of Lord Krishna. Krishna is the source of all incarnations. This is very important. All the incarnations that we see of Lord Krishna are from Lord Krishna himself. So, Lord Krishna is the cause of all the causes. Baldeva is his expansion, which expands into Vasudev, Sankarshan, Pradyuman, and Aniruddha. These in turn turns into Narayana. So Narayana is also a part of Lord Krishna. And Narayana then again divides into four incarnations: Vasudeva, Sankarshana, Pradyuman, and Aniruddha, same as from Balram. And that produces Mahavishnu. Mahavishnu is known as Karanadakshay Vishnu. And as I just said, Karanadakshay Vishnu actually is creating the material manifestation or the universes. Then comes the Garbhodakshaya Vishnu, which I said is one of the Paramatma or Super Soul. And lastly, Kshirodakshaya Vishnu. So these are the incarnations. You see that also on the left hand side. Remember two things. Krishna is the source of all the incarnations, all the expansions, and he is the only cause and only reason of all the incarnations. This is the message from the third chapter. Kshirodakshaya Vishnu produces three modes of material nature, and that is the mode of goodness, mode of passion, and mode of ignorance. Remember these three modes. They are sattvic, rajas, and tamas. Goodness is sattvic, passion is rajas, and tamas is ignorance. Purushavataras, Lilavataras, Yugavataras, Gunavataras, Manvantras, and lastly, Saktyavesh These are various kinds of 6 avatars that are found from Lord Krishna. As I said earlier, Purushavatara was a question, and those are 3 Purushas: Kshirodakshaya, Garbhodakshaya, and Karanodakshaya. Leela all the Leelas that they have performed as pastimes, like Vamana, Narsiha, Rama, Viraha, Kurma, and Matsya. And so also are the Gunavataras and Manvantras, etc. There are various incarnations, but they will not ask you in such details. So now you are ready with your 6 questions and their 6 answers. Our class goes on for 1.5 hours, right? Hare Krishna.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yes, Prabhuji, but
Whatever
today
time you are
is
comfortable, you can
yes.
take.
Yeah. So I'll continue. Just give me a minute. Okay. So we finished first 3 chapters, and I plan to finish the next 6 chapters, which is not difficult, very easy. Most important part, you've taken it very well. I hope you have written down your notes, because notes are going to help you a lot. Anyway, there is going to be a recording, so there is no issue. So these are again the 6 questions and their answers, which are the first 3 chapters. These questions were asked by the sages at Naimisharanya. Naimisharanya is in Jharkhand, present Jharkhand of India, and the sages were Saunak and other rishis. Chapter 4, 5, and 6 describes the Narada and Vyasadeva. Narada is the son of Lord Brahma, and he is the spiritual master of Vyasadeva. Vyasadeva is the one who has written so many scriptures, and these scriptures are on the name of Vyasadeva. Srimad Bhagavatam is also written by Vyasadeva. Vyasadeva also happens to be a father of Sukadeva Goswami. Sukadeva Goswami was a son of Vyasadeva, but he took 16 years in the womb of his mother not to come out because he was worried about getting contaminated with the material world. However, when ultimately, after hearing Srimad Bhagavatam, he decided to take birth, but as soon as he took birth, he ran away to the jungles so that he does not get contaminated by the material world. Sukadeva Goswami has remained as a liberated soul. He has always been Nitya Siddha and had never had any contamination of the material world at all. These people who are Nitya Siddhas, they are not working and thinking like material people that we are. And so, to us, they may look like bad people. They never take care of their body or their hair or their appearance or covering the body because they are not using any parts of the body. And so, because their senses are under total control. And so, we may feel that Sukadeva Goswami, when he comes to any city, he will be treated like a madman. Next question, next is chapter 4, 5, and 6. Chapter 4 is the appearance of Sri Narada. Narada Muni appears to Vyasadeva because Vyasadeva, after writing so many scriptures, is not happy and not contented in his heart and the mind. Narada Muni explains to him that you are writing so many scriptures, but you have never described a Lord and Lord's various forms and activities. You have not described the process with which the Lord is to be gotten and won. And thus, the pastimes and the activities of Lord and who and how the Lord is written in Srimad Bhagavatam. And a definite path of walking to Lord is shown by Narada Muni. This is a bhakti mark or devotional service, and that is what is mentioned by Vyasadeva in Srimad Bhagavatam. So ultimately, as a spiritual master, Narad Muni explains that you write a separate scripture where you write all about the Lord, glories of the Lord, pastimes of the Lord, Krishna Katha, and describe in detail the path to go back to Godhead, that is devotional service or bhakti marga. And thus Narada Muni instructs Vyasadeva how to write what he is suggesting to write. And thus the instruction to write Srimad Bhagavatam is given in chapter number 5 as instructions of Narada Muni to write Srimad Bhagavatam. Don't worry, these are not very important for you. And the 6th chapter is a conversation between Narad Muni and Vyasadeva, wherein Narad Muni, as a spiritual master, tells his disciple his story of how he achieved what he has achieved. Narad Muni is considered to be a very exalted number one devotee of Lord Krishna, and no one can match him. But he passed through poverty. He passed through as his mother was a maid servant, had no house of his own to live. But as a child, instead of playing the games of children, he was more interested in sages and their activities, and thus he did lot of devotional services to all the mendicants that were traveling during the Chaturmash of the year. There are 4 months of the monsoon where the mendicants do not travel and remain at one place because of the monsoon. That's when he did their seva, he took their prasadam, and he got instructed because he did their seva. And this is how he got the Vedic knowledge or Krishna Katha and the Gyan. And he qualified as a pure devotee. So he's discussing that with Vyasadeva in chapter number 6. Chapter number 7, son of Drona Panisht. The Srimad Bhagavatam now actually starts, and the end of the war of Kurukshetra is where Srimad Bhagavatam begins. All the people of the side of the Kaurava and their 11 Akshauri Sena, with all the Kauravas and their relatives and their army people, all of them died. Mind you, all of them died looking at Krishna, and so all of them got liberated from their sinful reactions. And in Pandava, except few, most of them died as well. Dronacharya, being the teacher of Kauravas and Pandavas, He was on the side of Kauravas, and so he also got himself killed, along with Bhishma Pitama, Karna, etc. But his son Aswathama was very angry because he was still alive. He was instrumental in killing the son of Arjuna by pretending and wrongdoing. This Aswatthama, because of his will to please Duryodhana, went to the military camp of Pandavas, and where in one of the military camp area, all the children of Pandavas were sleeping. He went there and killed all the children. This was an abominable work that was done because scriptures do not allow to do violence with children. That's number one. Do not allow to kill anyone who is sleeping, and do not allow anyone who has no weapon. Children were children. They were not awake. They were sleeping, and they had no weapons. In spite of that, he killed them. And so it was quite a big sin that he inculcated. He then threw a Brahmastra to the only child who was in the womb of Uttara. Uttara is the wife of Arjuna. Sorry, wife of Abhimanyu, who is the son of Arjuna. Abhimanyu is dead. And Uttara thus had the hair of Pandava, Parikshit Maharaj himself. When Brahmastra was thrown by son of Dronacharya, Aswatthama, the Brahmastra came to Uttara, and Uttara ran to Lord Krishna, who was leaving for Dwarka, to save his child from this Brahmastra. Lord Krishna takes a shape of a thumb and enters the womb of Uttara and protects the Parikshit Maharaj in the womb from the heat and radiation of the Brahmastra that was thrown to him by Aswathama. Aswathama is then caught by Arjuna and is brought to the military camp of the Pandavas, where all the 5 Pandavas, Draupadi and Krishna, are standing to hear the case of Aswathama. They all reach to one conclusion, that he has done a very big sin for which the only punishment is a death. Arjuna is advised by Krishna that this is the only possible course that you have to take. Arjuna being the in charge in the military camp, because he is a military man. He listens to everyone. Then he is asking, after asking Krishna, he is asking Yudhishthira, who says that he would pardon him. Draupadi is asked, and Draupadi says that she would like to pardon him as well, but for different reasons. She says he is son of Brahmana, so we should not kill him. Number 2, he is son of a spiritual master or military guru, Dronacharya, who had been guru of all the Pandavas, including Arjuna, and that's why he should not be killed. And third is that Dronacharya's wife, mother of Aswathama, would cry badly like me as I have lost my children. So for these three reasons, she requests Arjuna to forgive him. Krishna agrees, and Arjuna removes the money or a ratna that was in the head of on the head of Aswathama, being the Brahmana and the Putra of Dronacharya, was a very big figure. He removes that money or mantra, cuts tuft off his hair, and leaves him alone and doesn't kill him. That's the story in this chapter. I think if you remember this story, that's more than enough for you. Nothing more will be asked of you. There are a lot of details, but those details are of no use. Prayers of Queen Kunti and Parikshit saved. Queen Kunti has been a mother. She gets widowed at a very early age while she had been a young woman. When she gets widowed, her 5 children were all young children going to the school. And so she had to live with Dhritarashtra, who had wrongly occupied the kingdom and was the king living in the palace. Kunti lives with the Kauravas, and you know the rest of the tussle that was going on between Kauravas and Pandavas. Dhritarashtra used to take the side of the Kauravas. Kunti had to suffer, but Kunti was always considering Krishna, who had been the son of her brother and Vasudeva, and thus Kunti was the foe or sister of the father of Lord Krishna. She is saying her prayers, and this prayer is very, very important because they are very nicely said. They are saying when Lord Krishna is leaving Hastinapur and going to Dwarka. And one of the factors that touches everyone's heart in these prayers is that Lord Krishna is a doxygen. That means he is covered with a curtain of Maya. And when the Maya is removed from the eyes of a devotee, he can see Krishna very well. And the second point is that Krishna had been accompanying Kunti and the Pandavas all throughout because Pandavas had their life under stress and they were having a lot of issues, even to the possibility of being killed. So during the time of reverses and difficulties, Krishna remained. But Krishna was living when they got their kingdom and Yudhishthira became a king. So she requests and says that please continue giving us more grief, more stress, but you don't leave. That's the crux of the Kunti Mata's prayers. And these prayers are so popular among all the brahmacharis of the temple that all of them, 43 slokas are there, and all of them, by and large, have the prayers by their heart. So you can understand the power of Kunti Maharani's prayers. And lastly, today, Bhishma Deva. Bhishma Deva is popularly known as Bhishma Pitamaha because he had been the father and the forefather of Kauravas and Pandavas. He took a vow to remain brahmachari. He had been a son of Ganga and he never had any marriage or children. His vows were to protect the kingdom of Hastinapur and keep it safe and sound. And thus, he always has to protect whoever has been the king. Dhritarashtra was the king, and thus he ended up protecting Dhritarashtra and protecting and fighting for Dhritarashtra. He had been a pure devotee of the Lord and had been one of the Mahabhagavata. There are 12 Mahabhagavatas in the human race, and Bhishma Pitama was one of them. So you can understand how knowledgeable and very respectable figure he must have been in those days. Lord Krishna takes Pandavas in their best attires and very well dressed and ornamented, so that Bhishma Pitama, lying on the bed of arrows and about to die, he is keeping the death under his control because he had a Ichha Mrityu and he would die when he wishes. So Lord Krishna takes this opportunity and takes Pandavas to make him happy that at last Pandavas got their kingdom. They are very well dressed so that he becomes more happy. Then Lord Krishna asked Yudhishthira and Pandavas to ask questions and take knowledge from Bhishma Pitama. Bhishma Pitama instructs Pandavas in Varnashram Dharma and explains in detail about the prescribed duties of Kshatriya and Pandavas. These are known as instructions of Bhishma Deva to Pandavas. Remember, he instructs them from Varnashram Dharma for prescribed duties of the Kshatriyas and duties of the Pandavas, detailed in very nice form. Ultimately, when a time comes, which is the most appropriate time, where the window would be open for an Atma to travel across the material world into a spiritual realm, that time comes when Bhishma Pitama decides and leaves his body. So three important things in last three chapters are pardoning Aswathama for his heinous act, which nobody would pardon. Kunti Mata's prayers, where she is asking for more grief and more troubles just to accompany Lord Krishna, and Bhishma Deva for his lifetime's knowledge and instructions to Pandavas for better ruling of planet Earth. I think we just finished in time. We've taken 1.5 hours. Still 7 to 10 minutes left because we started 10 minutes late. Any question, any doubts, any revelation, any queries, any commentary, please go ahead.
It was a very good
everything
revision,
made
Prabhuji.
some sense.
It definitely
I'm happy you like.
it will help us, Prabhuji, in our interviews, Prabhuji. Thank you for your time and the effort that you have put in to guide us, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
All glories to Srila Prabhupada. All the things that I have said are the words of the Acharyas, senior devotees, and my beloved teachers. Any mistakes that are there, they are mine. Ignore them and forgive me. Thank you very much. I'm happy you people came and you people have attended. We have another class next Sunday at the same time where we'll take up the last 10 chapters. If there are no
Sure, Prabhuji.
questions, thank you very much for attending the class. I really appreciate. And all of you have a wonderful initiation interview and a wonderful initiation. Vancha kalpatarubhyasya kripa sindhubhya eva cha patita nama pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namah. I have one question. I'll have the recording available. Where do I put it? Shall I send it over to Aishwarya Mataji?
Yes, Prabhuji. To Neeraja Mataji is coordinating with us. So either to Aishwarya Mataji or Neeraja Mataji.
Yeah. If one of them contacts me, I'll send it over to them. Sure.
Yes, Prabhuji. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Thank you.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Thank you. Hare Krishna to everyone. Thank
Hare
you.
Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna.
Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.